Hey everyone, Travis here on day 2 of week 3 of the summer split of the LCS. Joined by Hi. Hi, you guys just beat CLG in a very, very dramatic and exciting game. And sorry, some crazy stuff is going on over there. I got distracted, but yeah, I think somebody's about to get shanked.
That's kind of intense, dude. We should start filming that if someone gets shanked.
Yeah,
It gets so many views.
that's true. Okay, so anyway, the action-packed esports shanking might just happen in any moment. Either way. Let's talk about a different kind of shanking, the one that you did with all those spears into the heart of CLG in that game. A lot of people were talking about, they banned Kha'Zix. Jat was going over the fact that a lot of your favorite mid lane champions have gotten, attacked by the balance team recently. And then you pull out the Nidalee. Have you been playing a lot of Nidalee, or what's your comfort on her compared to a lot of your other favorite champions?
Right. So I have a lot of champions that I do play. Obviously, I'll prefer some over others just because I think they're stronger. So all the champions I do prefer and I think are stronger were banned. So it's not that I don't play as Nidalee. It's just that when there's an option to play like Nidalee or Kha'Zix, Kha'Zix is better in my opinion in most situations. There are maybe some situations that aren't. So that time, Nidalee is the best pick at that time. So it's just I always pick accordingly to what is the best pick. And I always have like Lemon's input with me too. So he's always either controlling what I pick or asking me for advice on what to pick. So it's like a combination of both of us. So
Now, in that game, you seem to do very, very well with the spears. People going crazy. Double lift was just like the biggest target ever. It looked like you were trying to hit the side of a barn with a beach ball. What's that saying? I know. Either way, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the saying either.
Well, sometimes I just roll these things out
Is that
here.
shooting fish in a barrel or something?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I still like the barn thing.
The barn one's better by
Yeah.
far, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know my analogies.
We'll work on it. It's just a strategy I'm trying to roll out in my interviews. The broadside of a barn.
Broadside of a barn. Okay.
But I feel like there's a specific type of ball. The point is, you were pulverizing CLG, and then you did this thing. They went to Baron, and you on your own almost killed them all. You killed a couple of them, actually one of them, and then I think maybe Lemon killed the other. But you pounced in, and you almost swiped all of them, and then took the Baron. What happened?
So I don't think I'll be able to live that moment down. I was so close to being a hero, but I think I queued Baron or autoed it or something. Something made me make my swipe go the wrong way, and then I attacked the other way. So I don't know what I did. If I was a better Nidalee, I probably would have been able to do it correctly. I was kind of going for like a swipe on all three of their members and like queuing the Evelyn at the same time, so that way I could like just spear the Baron after, just so they wouldn't have smite and I could like try and take it from whoever's left. But I'm pretty sure I messed up everything there, and just failed at life. It's quite sad.
Well, we all fail at life sometimes. Sometimes me with my analogies. Now, were you guys aware of how far behind in gold you were? Like, you were actually pretty behind, like the almost the entire game. For all the spectators, it really looked like you guys were just trying to climb up this hill to eventually kill them. Did it feel like that in the game?
So I was told after the game that we're 8,000 gold down around Baron.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. It didn't feel that way. I know we just lost a team fight. Just like they killed 4 of us or something. Started heading over towards Baron, and they got the previous dragon. But I didn't know they were 8,000 gold ahead, and it didn't feel that way at all. I don't know who on their team had the money. I think it's Twisted Fate partially because of his passive. He'll have like 1,000 gold over me or something. But I don't know where the other 7,000 came from. I didn't feel like we're that far behind at least. So kind of weird.
You guys beat CLG, a team that up until you beat them was tied for first place. But yesterday you lost to EG, who's hanging out down towards the bottom. What happened overnight? Like I guess what happened in the EG game? Why did you lose that compared to winning against CLG? Is it just like bad days, off days, whatever?
I think the 3 games that we lost, it was mostly because I would die middle, or they would do some kind of gangbang strat of killing me in the middle. So against Dignitas, they had Lee Sin camp me near mid. I hit like level 6 or something. He just sat around mid the entire time, and I got caught out a couple times. So they shot me down in that game. Then the second game was Complexity, and I fell once again behind in that game when I was playing Soraka versus Oriana. I couldn't lane versus him anymore, and I fell behind again. And I also got the shit end of the stick basically that game as well. And then you go to the EG game, and once again, it happens to me again. I'm sitting there by myself laning versus Lulu, and they're just making an effort not to let me do anything. And when you can shut down the enemy team's mid laner, and either kill him or take his turn or make him lose pressure, the game becomes very hard to win. So in the 3 losses that we had is mostly because I would get either snowballed on or just become useless or get caught out. So a lot of the losses are on me, and I'm trying to fix that, or I'm trying to fix that at least. So
And CLG, it's an interesting scenario because Nien was considered kind of the weak link of the team last split, and then they replaced him, and now Seraph in a similar position this time. At the start of this game, it seemed like you guys were trying to apply some pressure there, and it did look like CLG responded a little bit stronger than they normally do because they usually seem to leave their top laner alone. Was that at all a consideration in your strategy going into the game? Like, all right, Seraph is kind of a weak link. Maybe he's like the guy that we'll look to put a lot of pressure on.
We personally didn't think that way. Just in this meta right now, in the 2v1 or the 4v0 meta, where the jungler and the top laner just go around together, the top laner naturally falls behind anyway. So, especially with the fact that CLG doesn't focus on top at all, he just falls behind. There's nothing he can do about it. And this meta just is really... I'm not a fan of the meta personally, just because it's very annoying for him in there. So if you watch that game, I literally had like 7 traps down the middle of my bottom side of the map,
Right.
so I couldn't get... I'm looking for a better word that isn't gang, you know? Yeah.
Ganked or
Yeah.
something, or group attacked.
Collapsed on. Ooh,
Yeah,
collapsed on.
That's
So,
good, yeah.
I was trying not to collapse on by 4 of their members because that's been happening a lot, especially like every game. Everyone's just trying to like collapse on the mid laner and either get vision control of that or kill him. And the fact that everyone just does that nowadays, it makes mid lane very annoying. It's not 1v1 anymore. You either farm there and be afraid of the enemy top laner, jungler, and support their entire time, or you jump in and die because they are there. So I don't like the meta that much just because it's very... I don't know. It just doesn't seem fun for anyone, really. Mid lane just plays scared. AD carry farms by himself. Top laner and jungler just run around being butt buddies, basically.
Yeah.
And support just does something. Sometimes they AFK under brush for 5 minutes, and that's perfectly okay. And the fact that that's like an okay thing is just like very boring. I don't know.
Now, I've noticed that a lot of times whenever people talk about, like pro players giving criticism or venting frustrations about how they feel about the game, people say, well, they're really free to complain about stuff, but they never suggest any solutions. Do you have any ideas of changes you would like to see, or even things that maybe you want to see reverted to bring it back to a place where you're more happy with the meta?
Well, the most important thing right now isn't necessarily gold early game, it's experience. So when the top laner gets denied, they always deny him experience. They don't really care if he gets money, but if he has like level 4 and he shows up to enemy top laner level 7, they just like lose. So they need to make the trade between experience and gold more worthwhile, so it's not just worthwhile to deny them experience. And I'm not entirely sure what they could fix just because they've changed so many things. All the turrets are hard to kill now, the dragon's worth a little gold, and it's just better to jungle than it is to get denied the entire time. So they'd have to do more than one change, and I don't know this change or the solution. I'm not a game designer or anything.
Right.
I just play the game, so I'm not sure what they could do. But at the very least, these are like my opinions on it. So
Very good. Excited at all about Summoner's Rift upgrade?
that looked pretty sweet. So I like the visual update just because it's similar to some other things that we may or may not know, and I think it looks great personally. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it'll come out within the next year, but knowing Riot soon, right? Yeah.
For pro players, is it purely a cosmetic change, or do you guys think? Because one of the things that's really interesting about it is they seem to have sort of flattened it more, like at least in the colors and the edges and all that kind of thing. To, I think, hope to improve like visual clarity and make the champion stand out more. Do you think that like those kind of upgrades make it easier for pro players or like help out with competitive play at all, or do you just look at it as like, oh, it'll just look cooler whenever I'm playing on it for hours and hours?
I haven't got to play yet, so I don't really know. I imagine it'd be one easier on the eyes just because it's not like... It just looks nicer, right?
Yeah.
So that might help people differentiate between things. Like, I don't know, maybe like a spear is more visible now.
Right.
Or, I don't know, if they update the Summoner's Rift, I'm sure like brushes and stuff like that are just like not as wonky as they are right now. So I imagine it'll be better. I don't know how much better, but at least by a bit, so...
Very good. What do you guys have now went 1-1 for the week? What are you guys up to this week? You gonna try to? Oh, you guys are at E3, right?
Right. So there's actually a lot of things we have to do this week. Every team has the player conference on Monday that they have to go to. It lasts like from 10 a.m. to like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So like no one's gonna be playing on the day. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, we have to go to E3. I believe we're doing some sponsor stuff there. I don't remember for who or what, which I should, but I
Yeah.
don't at the moment.
I think Alienware maybe.
Probably,
Yeah.
hopefully. But we'll be there at like 1 p.m. on both days, so I know that at the very least. We'll be at some booth signing stuff.
I'm
But
sure people can follow your Twitter and the Cloud9 Twitter to find out more about that.
that's high_L9 to figure out when we're going to E3. But I'll give you information on that when I know. But we'll be at E3, and then we really need to practice and just, I don't know, calm down and like just have fun with the game, really.
Very good. Do you think you're getting any of your confidence back, or did the EG game kind of rattle you guys?
I don't know. Every loss doesn't matter to what team. We always take it the same because losing sucks. Even if it's to like a lesser team, it's still the same loss as it is to like a better team. So I personally feel confident in our play. Yeah, we're not the best we are, but I know we can get better, and it's like problems we can fix. So I'll try to be optimistic about it, regardless of like whatever's happening. So hopefully we'll be back in shape and like better than before sometime soon, because losing sucks.
Losing does suck. Thank you so much, Hi, for the interview. I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to seeing you guys at E3 if they attend. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS. And wait, I'm going to add this in before my video producer swoops away, because we're talking about E3. You can check out all of GameSpot's coverage of E3 over at GameSpot.com. And maybe I'll be stopping by there too. And if I do, you can see my coverage at OnGamers.com.
You can get his autograph too if you go there. Yeah. I'm going there to get Travis's autograph. I don't know about you guys.
I think that's what most of the people there go
Nice
for.
glove, by the way.
Thank you.